Thanks for clicking on my video, Postmates Paul. I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with angry customers while doing food deliveries, and we're starting right now.
Yeah.
Very quickly, this video is sponsored by Cover. For just $7 a month, you get access to all the specialized services tailored towards protecting your finances should anything ever happen if you are a gig worker. This includes going to the hospital, having your car go to the shop. Cover will pay up to 80% of your income for just starting at $7 a month, plus other great perks. Use my code below in the description, get your first free month, nothing to lose. Helps me out a lot. I think it's important to mention that there are 5 key elements that I'm going to keep universal in all of this. And these are those 5 elements that you should always remember. Always stay calm. I see a lot of people flipping out, and that's not necessary. Always stay friendly. Kill them with kindness, as they say. Just be super over the top friendly. I apologize, whatever you have to do. Just stay friendly. I try to stay away from the word sorry. I'll always use the word apologize. If something should ever happen, and you do have to begin making apologies, right there I never say sorry. Sorry is a psychological thing that gives people kind of an upper hand. I like to say I apologize and explain my position if I'm able. You can always give a pro ordering tip if you're able to. And a pro ordering tip is something like, let's say it took you too long to find the apartment or whatever. Let them know, hey, you want to know a pro ordering tip? Next time, just go ahead and put in the driver directions, go straight, we're next to the laundromat, or whatever the special directions are. And a lot of times people don't even know that box exists, but you know a lot about this stuff, so you can kind of offer pro delivery tips to basically try to ease their mind for the next time they order. If should all else fail, just walk away. But in any scenario, I always end with a have a nice day, or have a nice evening, or have a nice morning, and I just walk away. The deal's done, you can complete the offer, and you can keep moving on. So now that we have these 5 points in mind as we go through all these scenarios that I kind of want to go through, we can work through how I dealt with angry customers. One time I had a batch order for this really famous barbecue spot, and it was really like a busy night. It was Friday, and I go originally with the idea I'm only picking up one order. As I'm showing up, right before I get there, it adds a second order on. I walk in, the first order is already ready, I grab it, and I'm waiting on the second order. I'm checking my times and everything, and it told me I needed to be there within 6 minutes. I was at the restaurant within 2 minutes. I was right next to it. I waited about 5 or 6 more minutes, and then I got the second order, and the second order was the first delivery. So I drive straight there. I knock on the door. It's a very nice place. A middle-aged woman walks out, and she just has a look of anger on her face. And I go, hey, Paul from Postmates, like I always do, and I hand her the food. And she looks at it like it's toxic, and she takes it, and she goes, you're going to explain to me what happened. And I said, I don't know what happened. What's going on? And she was holding the food, and I said, I'm more than happy to explain. Would you like to put the food down? I feel guilty that you're holding the food while I'm explaining. And that kind of eased her mind. She put the food down. And I calmly explained what happened. I let her know that her order was added on second. I actually picked up the order as it was being completed, and I drove straight to her. She was the first delivery. So she was getting primary treatment. The second that it was delivered and made was the second that I was making and taking it. I don't know if that totally eased her mind. I think she had some bad experiences with the restaurant maybe delaying. It was something completely out of my control. And that's something to realize. You're gonna have problems that are completely out of your control. No matter how fast you go or how hot the food is, something's still gonna happen. So in this scenario, I just was allowed to explain my position, and that kind of left her mind at ease. After she realized that I had grabbed the food as soon as it was completed and brought it straight there, I ended up getting a $10 tip on that delivery, even though she was angry. Another example I wanted to give was a very memorable Walmart order. The Walmart order just had an address, no apartment number or anything, and it said there was a gate code and to call when I arrived, and gave an uncoded phone number. And I'm very much against calling the uncoded phone number because a lot of these delivery apps block our phone number for our safety, and I have had customers call me after I have made the delivery, and it's very uncomfortable. So it said, call when you arrive at this number and I'll open the gate. I arrived to find it's an apartment, but the gate's already open. So I pull straight in and I'm at the leasing office, but there's no apartment number. So I call the mass number, and it just goes right to voicemail. I start questioning myself and saying, I'm gonna have to call this number. And I look up and I see an angry woman staring at me, and I assume that's her. So I say the name and she says yes. I said, great, I didn't have your apartment number. And she said, why didn't you call me? I said, I called the number in the app, it didn't ring. And she said, you did not call the number in the app. And I said, I'm very sorry. And at this point I didn't want to explain, I just wanted to find out where I was taking the groceries. So I said, hey, can I get the apartment number? She said, I put the apartment number in the app, you already know. I don't have the apartment number. So I stayed calm, I stayed friendly. I said, hey, I'm sorry, there must have been lost in translation somewhere. What's the apartment number and where's it at in relation to where we are? And she goes, it's down there to the right, apartment so-and-so, upstairs. No worries. I go around the corner and I immediately open up my car doors and I begin taking the stuff out, and then I close it behind me and I start walking it upstairs because she basically wanted to hover around my car. And I was kind of not giving her the satisfaction because I'm just like, I'm gonna take the stuff up to you. So I start walking it up the stairs, and when I get up there, she goes, make sure you put it in this one spot. These are very unusual demands. And so I just said, okay, no problem. I stayed calm, stayed friendly. Here you go. I go, I'll be back up. I have like 2 or 3 more loads. Came back up, dropped it off. I said, you're all set. Finished it off, took the picture. Have a nice day. And as I'm walking away, she said, thank you, and yelled it down the hallway of the apartment complex. I said, you're welcome. Have a nice day. And I walked to my car, and that was another $7 or $10 tip. But I remember it was an abnormally high tip. When you're dealing with unusual demands, just stay calm, stay friendly. Really, Dick? I had a long delivery one time, and it was 2 styrofoam containers of soups. And I don't know if it was my fault or the fact that the lids weren't the best quality, but essentially what happened is I had no idea. I didn't check the bag before I delivered it. I took the bag out. I thought I was steady. And as soon as I was handing it over, I opened it up and I kept it steady. And typically with things like that are soup and unsteady, I put it on the ground and then I open it and then I take it straight out. And I could see the soup had completely broken and come out. And the styrofoam cup was like up, and it was all bad. This is where I apologize. I said, I am so sorry. When I put it in the bag, it was good. I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything to drive here erratically. I kept it level. I'm so sorry. And at this point, I just had to give the pro tip and say, hey, contact Postmates. They're going to get you taken care of. I'm so sorry. This never happens. I'm so sorry. And, you know, the guy was like, it's okay. It's okay. And at least then I'm saving face. And when he calls Postmates, he's going to say, look, the driver did his best. And he's going to be, you know, hopefully on my side.
So it's literally like 2 days later, and I'm editing this, and I realized that I completely forgot an entire story. It was getting hot. I was being disrupted by people playing in the park. But essentially what happened was I missed a street. Sometimes navigation will take you one street off. It's just something about location. And I literally turned one street too early. I didn't know this at the time, of course. There was no special notes. But essentially I turned right, and I saw I was clearly in the wrong spot. I was pinch zooming out and referencing the address so I can basically see the streets around me to see where I was supposed to go. And I saw that I had to go out and right and left and right and right. And like, it was this weird thing to get around into the next little cul-de-sac. And all of a sudden I immediately get a phone call, which kind of blocks my map and I can't figure it out yet. So I answer the phone, and it's this guy who sounded super angry. Like I'm already ready to fight the fact that you like are so like stupid that I missed the street. And so I said, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm actually figuring out where I have to go. He goes, back up, turn around, go back, go right, go left. And I go, okay. I'm absolutely down to do that. I'm just checking the map right now, and I'm going to be there in 2 seconds. This happens occasionally. And he got so angry at me that he started screaming, and he hung up. And I was like, I should cancel this delivery. But unfortunately, I didn't cancel the delivery. I zoomed out. I figured out how to get there. I was there 30 seconds later. And his wife or girlfriend or friend, whatever, came out and took the food. And I said, hey, I'm sorry. The map took me a street over. I was going to figure it out. I said, I do apologize. Thanks for coming out to meet me. And she goes, yeah. Like, she was kind of embarrassed. And I said, you know, next time, just go ahead and put a note in that says GPS takes you the wrong way. We're on this street, and make sure that you go on this street. and you know, you'll get quicker deliveries. Like, I didn't know what else to say, but I said, have a nice day, and I walked away. If it had been the gentleman that came out, I would have handed him the food. If he would have done anything, I would have reported him to Postmates. I just wanted to add that in while I was editing.
There's always some preemptive tips I can give to avoid these angry customer situations. And a very simple one is always keep the customer updated if something is going out of the ordinary. A very good example of this is I had to wait at a McDonald's one time for morning breakfast, and they came back out to me and they said, hey, it's gonna be 15 minutes for the hash browns. And I said, okay, I'll wait. I text the customer and said, hey, they said it's gonna be 15 minutes for your hash browns. I'm writing this one out. I was light humored about it. He laughed, LOL, you are the man, da 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 da. Got a $7 or $8 tip. I mean, it wasted some of my time, but preemptively I kept him happy, and I probably wouldn't have gotten more than a $1 or $2 from McDonald's in the morning anyway. If there's something missing or unavailable, always text the customer and let them know all the available options, or if there's too many options, let them know that you're gonna take a picture of all the options so that they can pick the one that they want as if they were there. Always do it through text because it's the best way for Postmates to know that something was changed. Always check the notes. I check them when I'm leaving the restaurant. I check them when I'm arriving. Make sure that you don't miss any customer special notes, like don't ring the doorbell, sleeping baby. Text them, offer to say, hey, I'll let you know when it's delivered as I'm walking away or something. You know, be there for the customer. I always like to say this advice, always treat the customer as if they're your family or your friend and you're going out to get them food. Just have their best interest at heart, and they're always going to look out for you, or at the very least, they're not going to give you as much trouble. So I hope these tips helped. I hope these stories were kind of funny, but kind of gave you some insight onto what's going on. Please, if you can, click that link below so you can get that free month of Cover. Like I said, it actually helps me out a lot. If it's your first time to my channel, definitely subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my awesome tips on doing food deliveries or gig work app. And also, make sure you give this video a like. It really helps me out a lot. Give me some comments below about how you deal with angry customers when you're out and about. And definitely, if you're more interested in me, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any social media at Postmates Paul. I'll see you there.